I'm going to give you an update on the Bank of England. So this article has been floating around August 2nd, 2023, like it's brand new news. I have some bad news for you that this is not brand new news. This actually came from a tweet from this gentleman, Edo Farina, saying that this is brand new news. So this crypto.news service took that and said, hey, there's new news for the Central Bank of England. Sorry to break it to you guys. This is not new news. I'm not even going to read this article to you because I'm going to show you what these guys were talking about. They're talking about the proof of concept from 2017. And it does mention Ripple a bunch, and the proof of concept is with Ripple, but unfortunately, this is not new news. So if you're seeing people talking about this like it's, you know, the most amazing thing ever, guys, just there's no hype, there's no BS. This is just facts. This is an old document, and I'll show it to you and we'll talk about it. I'm also going to go through this video. I'm going to show you how much money moves through the CHAP system and the CREST system every day, and why it's important that when this does get updated and it does use Ripple and XRP to move this value, how much money the bank is going to save. I want to welcome you to our first sponsor, Spartan Bitcoin Mining. I'm so excited to speak to you about them. I am personally invested in this. Let me be clear about that. And I am being paid to make this content for you. What do? They are a regulated entity that is buying Bitcoin miners and raising money to buy more and more Bitcoin miners, but they also pay monthly dividends, 80% monthly dividends to shareholders. So right now, what you can do is, if this is a project that you might want to invest in, you want to get all the information you can, talk to your CPA, talk to whoever you need to, your financial advisor, do your own due diligence here, but you're buying $1 a share, 300 shares is the minimum investment that you can make. And what we're hoping here happens is we can raise $5 million per year for this project. And a lot of that goes back into buying miners to mine more Bitcoin to give us more dividends. In the future, if this company is very successful and they go public, shares could go, you know, anywhere from 5, 10, who knows really what shares could go for, because as Bitcoin gets more and more popular in the mainstream, this company could get bought out by a bigger company wanting to bring on a mining portfolio for themselves. So that's why I'm invested in this, because I see a future for Bitcoin, and I do see a future that these shares could be worth money in the future. Obviously, there's no guarantees, guys, so please do your own research. But Spartan Bitcoin Mining, I want to thank Greg Tucker, the CEO. He's a really great guy, and if you want to contact him under the contact us and get more information, please do. But there's some great videos on the website to help you better understand Spartan Bitcoin Mining, guys. Let's go ahead and talk about this. So it is the proof of concept from 2017, and it says background: the Bank of England FinTech Accelerator works with innovative firms and technologies. In this proof of concept, we wanted to explore the synchronization movement of two different currencies in two different simulated real-time gross settlement systems using interledger protocol. So this is great, right? They've been testing this for several years. There's other stuff where Bank of England picks Ripple Partner Accenture to create payment networks, all good stuff. And then you also had stuff that was released earlier this year, some updates. So let's go ahead and talk about those. So on February 7th, the Bank of England released a document on the digital version of the sterling and the UK's digital currency, sharing the link via its Twitter handle. It has mentioned Ripple, and I'm going to show you that. We don't really need to read this from here because I'm going to show the actual document. Here's the actual document. There's actually two documents. This one I don't think says anything about Ripple. This does say something about settlement, though. Let me just show you this real quick. There's actually two documents. So the reason I think Ripple's the choice here is because what the Bank of England is looking for. They're looking for something that has privacy, private ledger, federated sidechain. They want security. Obviously, that's very important. Resiliency and performance. This is really good to look at. So under performance, they want approximately 30,000 transactions per second. We know this is definitely not Bitcoin. When you are dealing with the CBDC systems, guys, there has to be stuff like KYC, AML, anti-money laundering, counterterrorism checks. There also needs to be sanction screening, and every payment sent through RippleNet has both of those on either side of the transaction. So there's no worry. If a bank sends a payment to a sanctioned bank, that bank, whoever sent that payment, could be millions of fines for the bank. The person could face jail time. It is a serious offense, and that's why it is very important to deal with. But, you know, this is a really good document, guys. If you want to spend some time here going through all of this, please do. But it is 80 pages of just a ton of technical information, and we kind of narrowed down, right? It's not Ethereum. Ethereum is too slow. It's too costly. And it's not, other countries are not using Ethereum for their CBDCs. And what the main thing for all these countries to do is be on the same technology, right? That's why it's interoperable. It also will work with other technology too, but that is the reason why Quant and Ripple are working with all of these central banks, because Quant is really building like the infrastructure, and then Interledger Protocol is obviously the other infrastructure that interoperates with that. This is the document that does mention Ripple. Let me just show you the top of it in case you guys want to scroll and you guys want to look at this document yourself. This is actually put out by the Bank of England and the HM Treasury. You can, of course, look at Ripple here, and it does give you a breakdown of what's going on. So within the real-time gross settlement system renewal program, the bank's focus has been to develop our roadmap for ongoing improvements to the real-time gross settlement service in line with the industry feedback and incorporating elements from previous proofs of concept and experiments. These have included DLT proof of concept, a project to explore and demonstrate basic functions of wholesale settlement using DLT. The bank built on this work via a second exercise working with Baton Systems and Clearmatics Technology Limited R3 and Token to ensure a renewed real-time gross settlement service could connect with systems based on DLT and innovate technologies together. Cross-border synchronization, a joint project with Ripple demonstrating that synchronized FX transactions in two different simulated real-time gross settlement systems can be achieved, leading to the incorporation of synchronization functionality into a roadmap for renewal. So there's a lot of really cool things here, guys, that they're working on. A lot of really good information in this document. I am not going to read it to you and put you to sleep. I want to get into kind of who's connected to the CHAPS system. CHAPS is the bigger system in England. It clears a lot of money, and we're going to talk about that here in just a couple slides, but just take a look. The reason that I do think Bank of England is going to settle on Ripple is because you have like some of these biggest partners, right? Bank of Santander, Ripple partner, Bank of England, Ripple partner, BNY Mellon, Ripple partner. You got Barclays, you got BNP Paribas, obviously Citibank's in here, guys. Euroclear, which is another Ripple partner. Just a lot of Lloyd's Bank, Societe Generale, Standard Charter, right? A lot of these, State Street, a lot of these partnerships have Ripple's already made. So a lot of these banks are already having the system built out on their back end, and they can, you know, use it and send payments between themselves. The FX market, guys, is $6 to $7 trillion a day. When you look at on-demand liquidity, only moving about $1 billion a month, it really is a drop in the bucket. Once we start getting some of this payment volume, guys, that's when we can expect more of a price rise. We also need regulation and Basel framework. I never lie to you on this channel, guys. I'm not going to tell you that XRP is going to $10,000 next month. That is not what we do on this channel. We look at facts, we look at real information, and I don't promise you guys anything because I don't truly know, guys. Nobody truly does. And if they tell you that they know, they're smoking tea leaves. All right, let's get it. So there's also some fees when banks want to use these types of systems. They have some fees like CHAPS tariff and DVP real-time gross settlement system tariff, about 30,000 sterling, 15,000, right? There are also some different fees here, 5,000, 2,000, 3,000. So there's all these different fees that banks need to pay every year to be a part of these systems. There's also the CREST system. We don't really need to go over that document, but I did want to show you some of these, like how much the value is on some of these systems. There's just a lot of really cool information that you can all read through here. A lot of this is taken out of those two documents that I've already shown you. There's there's a CREST system, there's the CHAPS system, right? And they're hooked up to some other things. Average daily real-time gross settlement system values and volumes. So here's the CHAPS. These are in millions. All values are rounded up to the nearest million, and zero value denotes amount under 0.05. So the CHAPS system recently, guys, year to date, 381 billion a day in sterlings. Okay, this is roughly about $400 million, give or take. You also have, you know, the CHAPS volumes. You have the CREST system, which helps process securities transactions. That's pretty comparable with what they're doing here. So there's a ton of money that goes through this every single day, guys, right? FPS net values, BAX net values, Link net values, right? Check image and clearing, Visa Europe net values. There's just so much value that moves through the system per day. The Bank of England is also working with Quant, right? They're both building different technologies inside of the bank to bring it to this new digital future. Let me show you this video if you have not seen it, and we'll talk about it.
Central bank digital currencies, or CBDCs, are digital forms of cash. Many central banks are exploring the use of CBDCs to buy goods and services in shops and online. Project Rosalind from the BIS Innovation Hub London Centre and the Bank of England is testing how APIs could enable retail CBDC payments and support innovation. The project builds a prototype of this API. APIs define how systems should talk to each other. The prototype connects central bank ledgers with private sector service providers. It experiments with API functionalities that would enable providers to develop applications. These applications would help individuals and businesses to manage their CBDC balances with the central bank and make payments to each other in shops and online. Working with collaborators from the public and private sectors, the project explored many CBDC use cases. Some use cases tested integration with existing payment systems, some tried new ways to make payments, and some tested applications with emerging technology. The project explored how the API prototype could support private sector programmability. For example, after placing an order, a customer could agree to put away a certain amount of CBDCs so that a merchant could have certainty that the customer will be able to pay. Programmability could also allow payments to be triggered when agreed conditions are met, so that consumers would only be charged when their orders are delivered. The project also tested a privacy model that would not give the central bank access to users' personal data. The Rosalind experiment shows that the API prototype could support many different use cases and could work with different central bank ledger technologies. It could connect the central bank, service providers, individuals, and businesses to create an ecosystem. New ways to make payments could be added as the ecosystem continues to innovate. Project Rosalind, building API prototypes for retail CBDC ecosystem innovation.
So guys, you have Quant and you have Ripple and XRP, right? So Quant is not a bridge asset. So, you know, they're going to build the back end with Quant, but it's also going to be connected to Interledger protocol to move that value at the speed of light. The Quant token is really designed for companies to make payments for the technology. They make yearly payments to use Quant's technology, and that is what really the Quant token is for. It's not a bridge asset like XRP. So you are going to see Quant and Ripple working with a lot of central banks together, and I do think their technology does interoperate well with each other, and that is kind of what you're seeing here. So guys, always verify when you see stuff. Don't get too excited, right? We always want to just chill, just calm down. The Bank of England is 100% going to use Ripple and XRP. It is the best service for them. Swift it charges them anywhere from 3 to 5% to use that system. 5% of payments actually never get there. You know, using blockchain technology is really going to help banks like the Bank of England come into the 21st century and really enable them to give better services to their customers and to their customers, which are institutions and other banks, right? So we're just going through real information. Just be careful. Some of these really off-end news sites are trying to get you to click on it. They're trying to get you in front of them. If you need help growing in this space, there is Cryptonaires down in the description link. That is my community. I do 2 Sensei chats a week in that, which is about 8 to 10 a month, guys, and I go through 80 to 100 different pieces of crypto news around globally. There's so much information. If you want to get an idea of what a Sensei chat looks like, there is a free one live on YouTube, and it is under the live category of my YouTube. Feel free to check that out, and I will blow your mind. There's a ton of really cool information in there that nobody else is talking about. I haven't seen any other YouTuber talking about some of the stuff that I found with the International Monetary Fund connecting Buna to Ripple and XRP in the Middle East, guys. There's just really cool connections in that video. I hope you like it. I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.